That's me back in like '94, I think, wearing that hat. It's at the trial, O.J. Simpson. And so this is the hat, okay? I don't think I've shown you this. Let's show you this. And this is not the shirt that's in the picture, but I think it. I think I still have that shirt that's in the picture. That I don't know where it is, but I'm not sure if I have it or not. But this is. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. That's me at an art show in L.A. Oh, let's take it in here. But this is the hat. I still have it. And I had the hat years before I even went to LA. I still have this hat. Okay. I can't see anything. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, that says hey Robbie, the only thing worse than a right wing suck ass is a left wing suck ass. That guy right there, Robbie Canal, he used to go and put I think that's Bob Dole. They used to go and put those things all over the place, and they were like they were posters. They were posters he would go and put up. He was like a professor of art or some bullshit like that at USC, and he could have his little go around putting stuff up all over the light boxes and shit like that, right? And so one day, I was driving by and saw that on a light box. I ripped the thing off. I didn't rip it off meaning you're stealing it. I mean, ripped it off meaning I took it off of the thing because I get sick of that fucking guy. So then I put it on that canvas because he's a left winger, Oh, hey, we're gonna get you, And so I ripped that thing off and stuck it on a canvas and put on that, what I did. The only thing worse than a left wing suck ass, a right wing suck ass is a left wing suck ass. And then I had it at the show down there, and some guy he comes by, hey, leave Robbie alone, Oh yeah, well, let's put it this way, he just kept walking after I said something to him, Oh, what a deal, man. I'm glad I found that, got that book. Because that documents that. And that was the time, that was about the time that I was, well, that was the time, not about the time, but the whole book is full of pictures. The name of the book is Take My Picture, Gary Leonard. And he is a guy that, he was a local photographer, and he did a lot of photography in the area that, well, he did all over LA. He did photographs all over Los Angeles and stuff. And so it's nice to see that book because a lot of the places in those photographs are places that, that I used to frequent. So it was fun to see that. It was fun to see that, yes it was. Also at that, I'll tell you an experience I had at that show, that art show. Might have been the next year. I think it might have been the next year. I think that was the first year. And then I went back the next year, and the next year wasn't very good. But there was I still have that. I still have that piece. It was a piece that had like a pistol, a plastic gun attached to it, and a bunch of stuff. And this guy came by, and he was with someone who was blind, and the guy asked me if his friend could, experience my work, because it was a three-dimensional work, and this blind guy was touching it all over the place, and he was really getting into it, what he was doing, and tell you what, when he walked away, I should have given him the painting, should have given it to the guy. When he walked away, I started crying, and I just couldn't take it. I couldn't take that. It was just, it all just was so, it was too powerful for me to take. I was a blind guy experiencing my work, and getting, experiencing it. He couldn't see. And I mean, that's the whole thing about being a painter, is you're doing something for people to see. Yeah, it was too much for me. Huh. Wow. I love Los Angeles. I love living there. It was great. But I'm glad. In a way, I'm glad that the only reason I left is I lost my studio. If I still had my studio, it'd probably still be there. So, but in a way, I'm glad that I lost my studio and came back. The guy in the guy the guy in the video I did of my friends at the coffee shop, the guy who came in afterwards, and I told him I was going to throw that thing out the door if it was, that guy who was sitting there where he was sitting on this side of me. That's my best friend. And when I was leaving LA, he came out to help me move. So, oh, it was funny. So he comes out to help me move, right? So I had a I had I rented a U-Haul, right? A big U-Haul, and then I had my van. Okay, so I got a trailer to put my van on it, but come to find out the trailer was too freaking small. Damn it. So I was working at that place that is the the Scenic Shop. I had the Scenic Shop. Not the Scenic Shop. I can't remember what they called it. It was basically a place where they built built and painted things for sets. It was a set shop. That's what it was. A set shop for building sets. Like a set. Like a set is something that you would build. Like say there's a TV commercial of a kitchen. Okay. So we'd build a freaking kitchen, paint it, and then they would take that, then they would take it, load it on a truck, and take it to the location, and then they would set it up and do the shot of the dishwashing liquid commercial or something, and then after that they would take it and throw it in the trash. And so I forgot what I was going to say. Fuck, I do that all the time. What was I thinking? Oh yeah. So my friend and I took the truck. We got it. How did we get it? Oh yeah. We took the truck. We took the van over there to where at the set shop, because the guys knew how to do all this stuff. They had, they had a lot of high quality people there. So we took it there, and then we put it on the, we took it and put it on the vehicle, and then the way it worked is that the things that would come out, that you would drive it up on, we drove it up on that, and then I think they lifted up the back of my van with a forklift some fucking thing. And then we were able to push the things back in, except we didn't push them all the way in, and so the tires were like resting on that kind of. So it was all rigged up, and then we lashed the freaking thing down. So the guy says, well, why don't you take it around the block and see how it runs? I thought, what the fuck, I don't want to do that. Okay, we're going to go. All right, thanks a lot, guys. And so I said goodbye to everybody. That was the place I worked that I told the guy, I said, man, I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving. And then he took me to lunch, and we had a conversation, and, and all that. So those guys helped me put the van back together. So now I'm on the freeway, and I'm going full blast like I always do. And then all of a sudden, I looked in the back, and the vehicle is going like, the trailer's going like that. Holy shit, I thought, man, I'm going to crash. So I slowed down real quick and didn't crash. And every time it went over 45 miles an hour, the thing started wobbling and doing all kinds of stuff. We had to drive all the way from Los Angeles, which at 45 miles an hour took 2 days. That's my buddy. And he was sitting with me the whole time. So we drove. It took us 2 freaking days about to drive from Los Angeles all the way to New Mexico. And then I turned in I was going to stay down in Silver City. I turned in the van, turned in the truck and everything, and then I put everything in storage. And then it took me just a few days to realize, fuck, what am I doing here? And then I packed up all my stuff and came down. Matter of fact, it's about this time of year. Matter of fact, it is this time of year because it was around Easter time. And I slept on my daughter's couch for a couple of nights while I was trying to find a place. And then I found a place, and they said, well, it's not ready yet. I said, well, it doesn't matter. Just I'll take it. And so anyway, that's where I had my studio in Albuquerque. And the studio that I had, it was a small apartment. And outside the apartment it was like an old school type thing. Outside of it they had like garages, independent garages in a row. And then the lady next door to me gave me her garage because she didn't need a garage, So she gave me hers so that I would walk right outside my front door, step off the porch, and then there was the door to get into the garage, and then that's where the garage is about as big as this room that I'm in now. It was like 10 by 20. And so I had that, and I rigged that up into my glass studio and did that. That was the trip. And then the next door neighbor, the guy across the street, he was a freaking dick deluxe. I mean, this guy, oh my God, what an asshole this guy was. And so anyway, he told after the lady left, another renter came in, and he told the renter that I was stealing, that was his garage, and that I was stealing electricity from him and stuff. The guy comes over, and I had to go and show him what was going on and everything. The guy was such a dick. He called the fire department because he was trying to screw me up. And the fire department came over and I said, "What's going on?" He said, "We have this this guy right here." And he showed me the complaint. They're not supposed to do that, but probably the guy knew this guy's a dick. So he showed me who he was, right? Unbelievable, unfreaking believable, So it was a strange story. And I was always complaining about his music being loud. One day thought he was gonna. His daughter lived there too, He put up his music full blast, and I came back and heard it. There were these 2 cops. I got the cops. Said, "Go check out this fucking guy." Went over there and calmed that bastard down. It's too much. The guy he was using it. He was using the lot. He would like park his cars all over the place and shit. I was on that guy's ass constantly. And then he started parking another car over on another plot. I told him, "Get that fucking thing out of there, man." I was really pissed off at this guy. He was an ass. He was really an ass. So oh man, it was too much. That guy was too much. I was just happy I wasn't him. It was just like, wow, guy was too much. And he was old. He was older than me. And he was just, there was something wrong with that guy. Something wrong with him. So anyway, that's my story about that. But I don't know how I got off on that. Oh, that's the time. That's exactly the time I got there. I came to Albuquerque. Well, it was basically this week, I think, because it was on Easter that I moved in, or the day after Easter, I think I moved in. This is about a week, so I was already in. I was getting close to being in Albuquerque. Maybe I wasn't quite there yet. So this is about the time I would be on the road, driving to. This is a basic time frame. That was in what year was that? I was 2000. No, it was 2001. It's 2001. I got to LA in 1989 and I left in 2001. So let's see how long I was there, about 12 years. I loved LA. I didn't make any money there though. I mean, I got to LA. I got to LA with, let's see, I'll just tell you the freaking story. I was living in Albuquerque, and I'm going to heat up some sleepy time. Sleepy time. Oh, sleepy time. So I was living in Albuquerque, and for some reason, all of a sudden I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know why I went there. I don't know why I was there, but I used to do stuff like that. So anyway, I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so I was at this little art gallery, and there was some paintings there that I really liked, you know. So I asked about them, and the guy says, "Oh, this is who it is." So when I got back to got back to Albuquerque, I said, "You know, I'm gonna call that guy and tell him I liked his paintings." They were like screen printed images. That's how I got into it. Well, I had already been in screen printing. I took one semester of screen printing at UNM to learn the basics of screen printing, right? And these are some screen prints I made. This is a screen print that I made at that time frame. This right here is a collage. This is a collage. Okay. But it's a screen print. It's a screen printed collage. And so the guy, so the piece that I saw in Las Vegas was a screen print, and I liked it, and I wanted to call the guy and tell him I liked his work. So I called him, and started talking to him, and I said, "Oh yeah, I took screen printing and this and that." He said, "Well, because he had a screen printing studio where they did screen printing for artists. It was basically like an atelier or whatever you want to call it. Was a screen printing." Maybe it wasn't atelier, maybe that's the wrong word. It was a screen printing place where they did art reproductions. So an artist would bring in an original painting or whatever they had, and then there were, on the staff was someone that would do like the color separations, because if you had like some of the things that we did, there were like 20 colors. You have to do like 20, maybe even more than that. All of these, you have to do all of these colors to make this thing, because basically you're piling color up on color to make an image. And so he asked me, he said, "Well, if you come to LA, I'll give you a job." So I left to LA. I left Albuquerque for Los Angeles. It was $600. And I was there for like 12 years, and I ended up with $3,000. I mean, come on. So it wasn't a very successful. It was not a successful situation at all. But it was really. But from Los Angeles, I had one man show there, and then I had a one man show in Salzburg. So that was great. I'll talk about that at some other time, but that's how I got to Los Angeles, and I was working with that guy, and so I had taken a bunch of T-shirts there, and like the first night or first week, broke into my vehicle because I was living in my van basically until I found a place to live, and so I was at work. I came out, and there was this BO smell in my car, and all my T-shirts were gone. That was a fuck up, man. They stole all my T-shirts. I tell you. And the place that they stole them, in that book that I had that I showed you, they stole the T-shirts right across the street from a couple of places that are in that magazine, in that book. So it was kind of an interesting thing to have that book, and it's a little bit of a memory lane kind of a vibe about it. That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. A long time ago. Oh, whoa. It's 9:57. I'm having some sleepy time, and I don't know when I'm going to go to bed, but, yeah. I'm Hello Rodney. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.